Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
So yesterday I did a stream where I was talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. Wasn't happy about that stream overall. I thought like it was just kind of mediocre. Me just kind of losing my shit over a lot of stuff. So I decided to delete it for the record. So I can now be a little bit more composed, a little bit more I guess to say it's less angry. It's the best way to put it. Because the Nintendo Switch 2. This is the moment the dam breaks. Okay? Like, listen, man. I know a lot of people out there are going to sit there and defend the Nintendo Switch 2. They're going to sit there, say they don't see why people are complaining. It's a great system, blah, 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 all that bullshit. And it's just like, dude, at this point, I can't. I can't with Nintendo. I mean, I already don't fuck with Nintendo to begin with, but when I was watching that direct, I was like, man, some of these games look cool. I was kind of interested in these games. Like, Metroid Prime 4 looks good. It does. Admit that, 100%. And hey, Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS, that sounds compelling. But it's just like, there just had to be that prick moment, right? There had to be that moment where I was like, oh, this is the real problem. This is why this all look good, because yeah, everything's expensive now. So if you guys don't know what's going on, be surprised if you don't, because it seems like everyone's talking about it. Basically, the Nintendo Switch 2 got announced. It's coming out in June, and it will be $450 United States. So that's how much you pay in the United States. And it'd be $500 for the Mario World bundle. It's Mario Kart World bundle, sorry. And some people were looking into it, and they found out that Mario Kart World will be $80. Which is like, you know. Like, listen, I kind of grown to accept, you know, game prices are going to go up. And I'm just going to be a pickier gamer and wait for games to go and sell more frequently. Because, like, at the end of the day, I can't afford every big AAA game that comes out, and I can't afford to take the risk. So that's my train of thought on that, the $80. But then you kind of realize with Nintendo games, they don't go on sale very often. I mean, like, on your Black Fridays and stuff, they'll go on sale. But it's like, overall, like, last I checked, they don't go on sale that lot. So that was already kind of like, ugh, I'm not happy about that. But then I guess now the rumor is, I don't know for sure if this is the truth. So correct me if I'm wrong, but now it sounds like the physical version of the games will be $90. So yeah, the digital version is cheaper because you artificially raised the price. And the physical version, which we'll get to that guy here in a minute, is $90. Because you raised the price. Technically, you raised the price from 60 to 90. That's a $30 increase. Because unless it was Breath of the Wild or a handful of other games, I don't recall a lot of Nintendo Switch games being, $70. That would have been just a $20 increase. Which, yeah, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's doom and gloom. But at the same time, it's like, man, you're kind of making it hard for people to justify buying a Nintendo Switch 2 when your games cost so much. And let's be honest here, the best you could give us a new Donkey Kong game. And yeah, of course they're getting that kind of Bloodborne 2, but it's like, it's also not Bloodborne 2 because it's actually a multiplayer game, funny enough. It's basically Elden Ring, Night Ring, but like smaller scale. But then we come to find out about the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges. They don't actually hold the game data, at least in the case of Mario Kart World. So my personal thought is that is probably going to be standard going forward with all the first-party games. Third-party is a whole different story. It could probably just depend on the developer. But so let's get this straight. The way that this thing works, this cartridge works, is you buy the cartridge. Okay, like this is not going to be the best fucking example. This is literally what I have on my table. Let's say I get this watch, right? Let's say, to use this watch, I have to, goddamn, I don't got a good example. Basically, the way the cartridge works is when you insert to your Nintendo Switch 2, it's actually more of a key and a license agreement. It's not the actual game. So why are you paying $90 for not even the game being on the cartridge? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. This literally spits in the face, and I literally say that as I spit, of physical preservation. It does. Because there's nothing there. It's just a license agreement and a key. And once those servers go down, the cartridge is worthless. It's just paper on plastic or inside plastic with a little piece of plastic in there that would have got you the game if the servers were still up. And this just... I'm sorry. And it's $90. It's $10 more than a digital version, and it's $20 more than the $70 games that we were getting, and it's $30 more than what most of the industry was actually going with on the Nintendo side, which was $60 for the fucking big AAA games. So yeah, again, I just don't get this. I don't. I feel like this is them kicking their fans in the nuts. This is them kicking the fans in the nuts and just saying, now smile. It's what it sounds like to me. And for a console, let's be honest here. Let's get honest with ourselves here for a bit. It doesn't look that much better. It doesn't. I'm sorry. You could call me a pony. You could call me whatever you want. But the fact is, it's just an improved Switch. Which is like, yeah, good. But it's $100 more than the regular Switch. The games are more expensive. And the crazier part is the competition is still better. It's technology that technically should be newer than the PS5 and the Series X. And from what I could tell, those are still better. So it's like, I'm sorry, man. I don't see the improvement here. 120 frames per second? Yeah, how many Switch games do you think are going to be that? Really? Like, we're struggling to get 60 FPS on the PS5 most of the damn time, unless it's first party. So how many third-party developers do you think is going to do 120 frames on Nintendo Switch 2 when they're making shovelware generic game 265? Because that's the other thing we got to talk about someday. It's just the shovelware problem on Nintendo Switch. And it's going to show up on Nintendo Switch 2. They announced 2K25 will be coming to Switch 2. I'm like, yeah. And didn't that happen with 2K18? Wasn't it on the Nintendo Switch? Then literally like after that was a colossal failure, they're like, oh, we're just going to stop doing wrestling games. So like, I feel like this is going to be the cycle that repeats itself. And I'm going to be honest, man, like, that's honestly how I feel. I feel like this is just going to be rinse and repeat, more of the same thing, except more expensive. And listen, I ain't delusional. I'm not delusional at all. I know Nintendo is so popular that they will get away with this. They will get away with these price increases. They know right now they just got right out the storm. Got right out the storm. People say they're not going to buy the Switch 2. Just let them say that. And guess what? They'll end up buying it. Because, let's be real here, gamers don't have spines. And I'm going to say that, like, 100%. As a guy who himself says, I wouldn't pay $70 for a game, how much do you think I'm paying for my big AAA games these days? It's like, we don't have spines. We get hot-headed for the moment, and then we don't really stick to our guns. I could see people, online saying they're not going to buy Switch 2. But it's like, but then they're going to announce a game you want to play. And the thing about that Switch 2 is if you want to play officially, you got to buy the Switch 2. You got to buy it because they're not going to go to PC like PlayStation or Xbox. They're not going to go to their competition like PlayStation or Xbox. They want the competition to come to them. It's not the other way around. So, Yeah. Uh, this is just a lot to chew on. But as someone who doesn't support Nintendo, I don't. I just think of the big three, they're greedy as fuck. And now this is obvious. Now it's out there for everyone to see. Nintendo does not care about their consumers. All they care about is their bottom line. Hey, listen, man. PlayStation ain't better. They ain't. They are the same way. But here's the difference between Sony and PlayStation. PlayStation and Nintendo. Nintendo's fans will tell you that Nintendo is the best thing to slice bread. PlayStation fans will actually be realistic and tell you, yeah, they got some IPs I like, and that's the reason I support them. But Nintendo fans are like this whole different camp. They're in this whole different level of camp. They're on this whole different level of delusion. And I'm sorry, if you are supporting the Nintendo Switch 2, man, I got a bridge to sell you. I got an island to sell you. Because if you think the Nintendo Switch 2 is a good value, man, PC gaming gonna look like a miracle to you. The PS5 gonna look like a fucking miracle to you. Because, I'm sorry, that console doesn't look that much better. Like, yeah, congratulations, your games could be at a more steady frame rate. I love Nintendo's philosophy. I love it. I love their philosophy of what's standard for the industry is new to us. It just seems like it. The big thing that they were touting was a mouse control, which, actually, if you know your Nintendo history, they actually had at one point, and game chat that looks terrible. Looks like a discounted Discord. But that's the big change. Those are the big innovations for the Switch 2. And it's just, yeah. I got nothing else to say. Don't support the Nintendo Switch 2 if you actually give a shit about getting value, getting more bang for your buck out of your machine. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube algorithm BS. Bye.